What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back with more Danmachi. We're going to talk about the new banners incoming tonight, including the rerun, including the rebalances for that, which are actually fewer than I expected. Shocking. But first, let's get into the brand new units. Now, we talked about these a little bit yesterday, and I mistakenly thought they were just rebalances of the old units. No, this is a brand new Elise, and a brand new Ardee that are coming to the game. These are fresh. These have never dropped in the game before. So, Elise, and I really like her. We're going to kick it off with her. Skill was an 86 MP cost. Foes, plural. Allies. Not foes, plural, allies. I guess we should talk stats first. 4682 HP. Magic. She's a magic unit. 2036 magic. She is a light unit. So, the light team is really good. 1262 agility, just a really good unit altogether. So going back to skill 1, 86 MP cost, allies slow. It is a slow skill. Agility, critical, ironically agility, critical and penetration rate plus 35%. So everybody on your team gets those buffs. That's for 3 turns. And self, magic and agility plus 70%, light attack damage plus 80% for 6 turns. 3 additional actions, foes, plural, mid-light magic attack, and allies extend status buffs by 2 turns. Great skill. That is a phenomenal skill. So basically the way this works, consider her skill 1 as like an end of the turn type of thing, and at the end of the turn, she's going to give everyone a big buff for turn 2. Turn 2 is supposed to come hard. So you're kind of... you're wherever you are in turn 1, and, hopefully you have some other units that can really hold their own on turn 1. She's not a rush unit. She's kind of a, I hate to say hurry up and wait type unit, but she's very, very, very much about turn 2 and beyond. That's really what she is. Now, turn 2, 79 MP cost, foes, plural. Now it's a fast skill. Remember, she got an agility buff on top of that, so it's going to be hard to be faster than her. So a fast skill with a 1262 agility and a 35% agility buff, something like that. And whatever she gets on her passive too on top of that. Fast skill, highlight magic attack with ultra uncounter rate. Skill damage 35% per self strength and magic debuff. So, one of the things she's relying on is that turn 1, your opponent's going to apply debuffs to her. So, most of the time you run debuffs on the assist and the adventurer side, so assist debuffs, strength and magic both being debuffed, she's going to get a big bonus. She's going to get 70% buff out of that. If your opponent does adventurer debuffs on turn 1, she's going to get a big bonus out. She's going to get another 70%. So she is basically coming in with a really fast skill, a bunch of hard hits, and a roughly 140% buffed attack. Foes, remove agility buffs. So she'll wipe out agility buffs, so that guarantees she's going to be faster on turn 3. Magic resistance down 35%. AoE damage taken plus 35% for 3 turns. That ensures that your opponent takes a significant amount more damage, and she's going to come back and hit again with this, which we've already elaborated is a hugely, insanely hard hit. Now there's basically no way your opponent can be faster. So she's really kind of like... Turn 1, just sit and wait. Turn 2, hit hard. Turn 3, hit even harder. And basically, it's if turn 3 doesn't work, she's going to keep hitting harder. Now, let's say she's taunted for whatever reason, which is, it happens. Skill 3 is a singular, a foe's singular, 51 MP cost, super light magic attack with ultra uncounter rate. Ultra unguard rate, 35% per self strength and magic debuffs. The same basic idea. It's a 75% single target, or it's a 140%-ish, depending, obviously, if they only have the strength buffs and debuffs on you, it's 70%. If they have, strength debuffs, but adventure debuffs that are on both, it's 105%. It really comes down to the opponent debuffing you. But fully debuffed, it's 140% hit, and because it's single target, it's going to hit a little bit harder. This is a really solid skill. The downside to Elise is she's not going to work anywhere outside of... Well, not to her fullest extent. She's not going to work much of anywhere outside of Wargame. She is Wargame exclusive with rare exception. Her SA, foes plural, ultralight magic attack with ultra unguard rate, skill damage 70% per self strength and magic debuff. So she goes from a 35% to a 70%. She literally doubles the amount of damage she was doing on those other attacks. 4 additional actions, foes plural, mid-light magic attack, skill damage 35% per self strength and magic debuff, allies extend buffs by 2 turns. Same basic thing, you just get an extra turn out of what you get on skill 1. So remember, skill 2, she's going to hit hard, and she's going to do it twice. She's nuts. She's bonkers. Every Wargame team for the next 6 months minimum is going to be running this unit, maybe longer, as we'll discuss later today in some of the units that are coming back to the game. Passive skills. 45% dark resistance. Counters are a light magic attack. Counters and regular attacks are light magic. 35% magic agility and dex. 20% damage on critical and penetration. These all sound like the typical current meta stuff that we've got. 8% HP and MP regen per turn, which is really nice. 35% native ailment resistance. Notice she doesn't have a killer skill because she's not designed to do familia events or anything like that. She's designed solely, and I mean exclusively, for Wargame. That's it. Outside of Wargame, she's a fish out of water, but Wargame's really where she's going to shine. Let's talk Ardee, okay? Ardee is an interesting situation here. Now, I like Ardee a lot. Ardee is a counter healer. She's really, really good. The old Ardee was used for an extremely long time and was a borderline toxic situation in Wargame for a very long time as well. So let's see what she does, because I don't honestly remember from yesterday. Now, right out of the gate, 4090 HP means she's going to squish a little harder than a lot of the current meta units. However, that still puts her above most of the units from even like this time last year, or even 6 months ago. So Ardee's still very good. She's just not going to keep up with the meta as much. Plus, notice she has a strength stat and a magic stat. That means she's a support unit. She's kind of not made to survive. Plus, she does have her counter healing, so do you really need that much HP? Answer's not really. The Endurance 603 is going to be more than enough. If it was in the 800s, she'd almost be impossible to kill. Now, let's talk about her skill. Skill 1 is a 221 MP cost. Very, very, very expensive. Foes plural, agility, dex, critical rate, and penetration rate all down 40% for 4 turns. Self, 4 additional actions, 10% KO save. So in other words, so long as your health is above 10% of max, she's going to basically tank 1 killing blow per person on the team. That is a single target situation. That means everybody on the team can take 1 killing blow so long as their health stays above 10%. That is a really solid skill. Really solid skill. We use that to great effect when doing our final trial run. So very, very, very important that. Skill 2 is a 65 MP cost. Allies. Fast, strength magic, physical resist, and magic resist plus 35%. So skill 1 is all about the debuff. Skill 2 is all about the defensive buff. That's all for 1 turn, and it is a fast skill. 35% HP regen per 1 turn, and remove strength, magic, physical resist, and magic resist debuffs. So any debuffs on your opponent get removed in skill 2. Or say your opponent, your asset. Everybody on your team gets those perks. So all buffs all debuffs and all resistance debuffs are removed. It's very, very nice. Skill 3 is an allies. Fast, strength. Skill 3, let's try this again and not read skill 2 again. Skill 3 is a 47 MP cost, foe singular, slow, super wind magic attack with ultra uncounter rate, temporary magic buff, and allies ailment cure. So it's not a complete wash of a skill. Remember, I like these to have a percentage buff, but if they don't, having an ailment cure like that could be really nice. So if you have somebody that's, I don't know, stunned or sealed or put to sleep or something like that, she can get rid of that, and everybody in the team will benefit from it. So not quite as straightforward, but like I said, still more of a support unit. SA is Allies Ultra HP Heal. Remove status debuffs, ailment cure, and foes remove status buffs, and inflict sleep. So she adds sleep into the mix there. So basically, she's going to do a really big heal. She's going to remove status buffs on your opponents. She'll cure ailments, and she'll hit everybody on the opponent's team with sleep. A good skill. I don't know how often you're going to use this, but it is a really good skill from a defensive standpoint. Though, if I'm honest, there's probably better skills out there. Still, for what her passives are 45% earth resistance when countering and when countering and regular attacking. She provides when countering instead of attacking. This is what I was trying to say. Countering instead of attacking, she does a low HP heal single target. Whoever has the lowest HP on the team, she'll heal them. That's basically the skill that Haruhime's more or less brought into the game. She brought that in when she first dropped on the game, and it has been a legitimate and serious game changer since. It's a really solid skill. 35% magic agility and dex, physical resistance, 20% physical resistance and magic resistance, and 35% ailment resistance. Once again, no killer skill, but she is 100% support. She's not going to produce damage, which is a little disappointing because the old Ardee did produce damage. The only time she produces damage now is, I guess, a little bit with her skill 1, but you're not going to be able to spam that. Skill 3 as a single target can do it, but it's going to be pretty rare that you're going to run that. I like Ardee. I think she's not as good as the other one was when it first dropped. It's hard to say that, but I kind of feel like she's good. Is she phenomenal? I expected a little more out of her. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's because when the other one dropped, she was so broken. Like, so incredibly broken. It's really a tough call. But it is what it is. Ardee's still very good, and you're going to want both of these units, especially if you don't have the old ones. They are new. They are not rebalanced. These are brand fresh, new units, and probably new CP to a lot of people. Now, the other thing we're having income tonight is we are getting a rerun of A Midsummer Night's Sabbath. Now, this is an event, basically it's a Halloween event, nothing too crazy. But the nice part about this is that they've rebalanced some of the units. I expected all of the units to get rebalanced. So we'll go ahead and jump over here and talk about the units that are getting rebalanced. Number 1, Chigusa. Okay. I like starting with skill 1. So, okay. So, before adjustment, Burning Flames of Jealousy. I get a guess this is her skill 1. Was a self-fast magic guard rate, counter rate, and dark attack damage plus 50%. They dropped the guard rate. So it's now, fast magic, counter rate, dark attack damage, magic, dark attack damage, and magic resistance plus 60%. So I think that's dark attack damage resistance. No, is she a dark unit? She is a dark unit, so dark attack damage and magic resistance plus 60%. Very nice. Up from 50 with all the other skills. 3 turns, and now it becomes 4 turns. 3 additional actions, low dark magic attack on foes with self-avoids KO once. It basically stays the same. Still a low dark magic attack with a KO save at 10%. So nothing really changed there, but that's 60%, and including the dark attack damage is including the magic resistance is a pretty big W. Evil Spirit's Descendant was a foe's plural fast mid dark magic attack with temporary magic boost, ultra on guard rate, HP heal 30% of damage and max 35% damage, damage from poison for 1 turn. Poison resist and seal resist both drop 30%. I remember when they dropped these units, it was really shocking that they had the double ailment debuff. Very nice. That has actually been buffed up to 35% instead of 30%. So it's a fast high instead of mid. Dark magic attack. Let's see, unguard rate, HP, heal 30% damage. Yeah. So it's 35% damage. Well, that's still the same. So it's 35% poison and steel resistance and a mid attack, or I'm sorry, a fast high attack instead of a fast mid attack. So, and it is what it is. I think they're trying to say these units are still good. SA has changed a lot. Okay, so Ultra Dark Magic Attack with Temporary Great Magic Boost, Ultra Penetration Rate, Poison Resistance, Seal Resist, down 100%, basically stays the same. It's all for 4 turns. What they do is they add 4 additional actions, Mid Dark Magic Attack with 40% Seal on foes, and avoids KO. So they basically add the additional actions from Skill 1 with 1 extra turn. Not groundbreaking, but, you know, she's aight. Chigusa's aight. Remember, though, those numbers doesn't look like they're doing any numerical adjustments to her. It's since she's last year's numbers and last year's passives. That doesn't bode well, y'all. She's not, like, as soon as we start getting more dark units in the current meta, these units are going to get usurped and usurped hard. Because remember, they're 5 to 10% more powerful on the passive side, and they get, like, what, a certain percentage. Look at the HP numbers down here. Okay, so case in point, Alicia is getting a bit of a buff. So max HP is 3760 at best. That would be like 4200, maybe 4000 at the lowest possible with the current meta, and her passives would be much higher. So I'm not blown away or enamored by these numbers. These numbers do not make me rethink my opinion here. But let's go ahead and look at her skills. Skill 1, Air Manipulation, is an ally's fast HP heal 40%, up from 30%, and 30% HP regen for 3 turns. Physical resist, magic resist, fire, water, thunder, earth, wind, light, and dark resist debuffs down 3 turns. So basically the heal goes from 30% to 40%. No change in the consumed MP, but I would kind of gather that. Storm Enhance. Foes plural fast, high wind magic attack with ultra uncounter rate, critical damage, and penetration rate 40% for 5 turns. That's the same. And allies magic and wind attack damage plus 50% for 50% for 5 turns. That's up from 40%. So it's a bit about a 10% improvement on that. Not world-ending stuff. Arrow Coffin is a super instead of high wind magic attack with temporary magic boost and ultra uncounter rate and allies ailment cure. Once again, ailment cure on that is very nice, but is it going to save her? No. She does get some passive adjustments, so let's take a look at these real quick. Looks like encouragement stays roughly the same. It's going to do a counter heal, a lot like the unit we talked about before with Chigusa. Earth resistance stays the same. Physical and magic resistance 20%. Magic agility and dex from 35% up to 45%, which is very nice. And guard rate up from 30% to 40% is very good. Ina is the last unit on this team. At full max limit break, she is a fire, thunder, wind, and dark resist plus 20%. She's a resist unit plus 20%. And foes, critical penetration rate and counter rate down 25%. That is nice, but I rarely find use in these units. I don't know, guys. I'm not enamored by this. Plus, that's 3 of the 6 units that are getting buffed. That leaves a lot of units out in the cold. So, let's talk about that. Seer did not get a buff, so I'm going to jump over to the game here. I'm going to close this out, and we're going to jump into the album real quick. Here we go. And I'm going to jump over here to the assists, and we're going to go look at the lingerie Seer. Boom, boom. We'll talk about her more than just look at her, but she is fun to look at. That is Freya, close enough, but not quite. Seer. Where is she? 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 There she is. So nothing has changed with this unit. No numbers have changed. Nothing have changed. Look at that HP stat and that magic stat. She's kind of down there, especially in the current state of things. So magic plus 15, wind attack damage, wind and dark attack damage plus 20%. They could really buff that to 25% or even like 23% or something like that. Or at least give him magic 20%. She's going to be old news here very, very soon, and she desperately needs the buff. She ain't getting it. Okay? I did also talk about Elfie. I really, really, really do like Elfie. I'm going to go ahead and bring this down to dark type units so we can find her more easily. Boom. Where did Elfie go? She is... Well, there's Chigusa. I'm pretty sure Elfie's a dark type unit. Am I losing my mind? I'm apparently losing my mind. Let's try this again. So, let's get rid of the dark type units and let's just go find Elfie. Okay, so there's the kid units. Yeah, apparently I'm just losing my mind. I can't find Elfie. What the heck is going on? I've gone by her like 6 times now, so I need to pay attention. Haruhime, Aisha. Where is she? There she is. Elfie. She was much further down on the list. Okay. So, Elfie did not get a buff. And let's go ahead and take a look at her numbers here, okay? So, 3695 is not going to hold up in today's meta. 404 MP with physical attack 382. 490 endurance is not going to hold up. Plus 1056 for her agility. She can be super slow, though she is a single target unit, so speed is not really her forte. Skill 1 is a strength, magic, and dark resist down 40%. That's fine for 4 turns. Sell 3 additional actions, mid-dark magic attack with a foe. They could have given that some kind of extra buff, and they chose not to. Dark magic is a foe singular, fast, high dark magic attack with high critical rate. Magic resist down 40% for 3 turns, and self magic and dark attack damage plus 70%. They could have given that 75 and it wouldn't have changed a huge amount, especially with how much she's taken. Maybe you take that up to 80%. And she still wouldn't match the current meta, but she would be good. Also, foe singular super dark magic attack with temporary magic boost and ultra and guard rate, and removes strength and magic buffs. I like the move strength and magic buffs, but no percentage boost there. Leaves me very underwhelmed. Foe singular ultra dark magic attack with temporary great magic boost. Ultra critical rate and magic resist and dark resist down 60%. I really thought she did something more. I thought she got a percentage boost, and apparently not. She needed some love, in my opinion. Now, maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but I really feel like she could have definitely used some attention in this. The other one is the Ryu unit. And this Ryu unit is really good. A lot of people even mentioned in the comments when I was talking about this that they still use her in war games. So let's go ahead and grab her real quick. Wherever she went to. Where's Ryu? Is this Chris Ryu? Let's see. It's not that Ryu. There she is. Alright. So, Ryu. HP and physical attack both are representative of the old meta. That HP could use at least a 500, if not 600 to 700 point buff. Endurance not bad, though. The agility could use another 100 points or so. But that would make her, if they did all that, make her on par with the current unit, and I know that's not their goal. Let's talk about skills. We'll come back to the SA. Skill 1 is a high dark physical attack, 60% per each self strength buff skill with ultra and guard rate. So she's one of those punishment units for when they get taunted in Wargame. Skill 2 is a super dark physical attack with temporary strength boost, ultra and counter rate, self strength and agility and dark attack damage, 60% for 6 turns with a 20% MP heal. It's a great skill. I just wish it got a little something, so just a little tiny something. Just nothing there would have made so much. And make this less expensive in the MP department. Allies fast, 10% HP and MP heal, and 10% heal 10% for 2 turns, and null physical attack and magic attack times 2. It's a great skill, but I think it's unghastly expensive. If they had knocked that down to like 231 or even 221 MP, it would almost be perfect. They would just do like a little buff to skill 2 and a little buff to that, and she'd be fine. So Ryu, Elfie, and Seer, I see what they did. But without buffs, it's just really hard to justify because these units are going to they're going to fall off the map so quickly. Because let's go look at their passive skills in comparison to modern passive skills. If we just kind of scroll down here. So 35% light resist. We're now on the 45% meta. Strength, agility, and dex 35%. That's not bad. Critical damage 20% could give critical and penetration. Counter damage 50%, which is really nice. And she is an aqua killer. So I just feel like they kind of cheaped out. I feel like they could have done so much more, which would have made them a lot more lively for the current meta. But Dark still is suffering big time. And when that Dark team does get a big buff, you're going to kind of be out in the cold with units like this. They're just not going to be very useful. So if you want my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I'd say for the current banners, I really do like Elise and Chigusa. I would say Elise and Chigusa are borderline musts. These units are fantastic. They're absolutely worth your iris. Are the Dark units from the rerun? Not really. If you have them, great. If you're looking to just MLB one or two of them, fantastic. But remember, these are units that are going to run out really quickly. They're going to pale in comparison to other teams. They're not kept up with the current meta. The passives are all over the place in comparison to current. Skills are all over the place. It's a mess in my personal opinion. So probably Elise and Ardee, but stay away from the rerun banner in my opinion. But feel free to argue in the comments down below. That's what it's there for. That's what it's all about. Just do keep it civil, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all on the next one. Some of you guys asked when the live stream was tonight. Tonight, the live stream is supposed to start at 9 p.m. We might be running a little bit late because I've got a bunch of videos that are going to drop regarding the side story episodes. So I'm going to try to get those out between now and stream. So the stream might be slightly delayed, but we will be starting somewhere probably close to 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you all there.